everyone, I'm Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm eating for breakfast that are egg-free, dairy-free, and gluten-free. I'm sorry, having trouble remembering all that. Because I went through the 3 cookbooks and I talked about my favorite recipes in those. So this time I'm actually going to talk about some things that I guess you could call them in the cookbooks, but things I do when I'm in a hurry. I don't know about you, but sometimes I struggle with, what am I gonna eat? I don't have time. And this is actually something I've been doing, so I thought I would share it as my last one for the month. Actually, I might have one more. But so for me, the biggest thing is with breakfast is you can't have eggs. But eggs, personally for myself, I usually ended up as a mess anyway. So what I did was, like, in a place where you would normally have eggs, I usually do like some sausage, some bacon, something like that. I make my own sausage patties. Sometimes I have sausage links, not very often, and bacon. And then I will eat that with veggies. I have canned some squash. So you could do it with squash, you could do it with green beans, the peppers and onions. I think that's the fajita mix. That's really good. And another one that I've done that you probably have already thought of is like the mixture that you put, it's onions, peppers, and celery that you would normally put in with your meat. Just, do that with your sausage. Another idea that I've been doing quite a bit is I make up the protein balls because I struggle with, I want to eat fruit, but I don't want to make a shake, so I've been doing that. And that actually makes a really good breakfast. That's probably the biggest one that I use that for, to be honest. I've tried making shakes, like protein shakes, but the problem with the protein shakes is it takes too long to make it, and usually for easy grab and go breakfast, I just don't have time to do that, so I end up doing that. The other thing that I do, I did it this last week, it was a little bit more work, is I made the pancakes. I think it was, I'd have to look up the recipe again, but it was oat flour, like gluten-free oat flour, and I don't know what there was like 3 ingredients. If I can remember, I'll try and link the recipe below, but it didn't have any of my things in it. And then I would take that and use it to make like a sandwich, which who doesn't love a sandwich with like bacon and veggies? That was really good. Or another way to do it would be to put jelly on it, or you could put fruit on it too. It's really good. But again, that didn't, and if you aren't careful, you will put all veggies on it and not meat. I do that. It's really frustrating. It's like, why do I do this? But that's not a traditional breakfast food. That's just like me trying to save myself, probably. And then probably one other thing that I have done for breakfast a few times that's not traditional is I eat soup. That probably sounds really silly, but especially some of the soups that have squash in them, I just really crave those because they're almost like a drinkable thing. In fact, my husband for a while told me, or had me make him soup in a big, huge coffee cup so he could drink it. And I always thought that was so silly. I'm like, why would you not just sit there and eat the soup? But he didn't really like to do that. And now I see that, especially because I'm eating more soups that are just more liquid and less chunks in it. And I understand why he does it, because it does make it so much simpler to eat. Because the soup I made last week with the squash, it had like cinnamon and nutmeg, and I won't do that again. Anyway, that soup was easier to eat just by drinking it in the cup. So that's definitely something a little bit different that people probably wouldn't think of to have for breakfast. And I think I actually had somebody suggest that I try eating soup for breakfast because I was struggling so much with breakfast. I don't particularly care for breakfast. I'm learning to love it again. It's not that I hate it. It's just quite a bit of work because you can't have traditional breakfast food. No dairy or eggs really does change your lifestyle a lot. I still miss those things, but I'm slowly learning to live life without them. But I do miss them sometimes. And I do know that some people have used the alternatives, like yogurt, like the coconut yogurt, and I have it every once in a while, but from what I understand, it's, I suppose if you made it yourself, it's probably fine, but when you buy it from the store, it has some off-plan ingredients, so it's not necessarily an ideal thing to eat. And unfortunately, unlike most people for alternatives, I can't have almonds. So a lot of the alternatives are almond based, so I can't have them. There are some cashew ones, but they're harder to find, and where I live, they don't really have them. I've found drinkable yogurt, but it's at a store that's an hour away. So I definitely don't get it very much. But that's okay. You live with what you got. I'm just grateful that I know what my food issues are, because it's easier than trying to figure it out yourself, even though it stinks. So anyway, thanks for listening to me chat today, and hopefully I will get my videos out tomorrow. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.